Welcome back, guys and girls, to another speed build. This is Charlotte speaking. This time, I did not get an inspiration from a house plan. This time, I just wanted to do how do you say, an 1800s inspired house, a country house more specifically from UK. I would say that my inspiration for this is more, like Jane Austen, Pride and Prejudice, that kind of era. I just wanted to do that. This kind of house, very simple, well, but big. Slash for the half-rich people out in the country with a very lush estate garden. This is my second attempt of building this because I wanted to try to make it not like a box shape, but go a bit out and have towers and everything. But I couldn't really get it to work, and it didn't really look good at all. So I ended up with this, but it does really, really look nice. I did Google loads of pictures. Most of the houses I did get up were houses built in Bath, with the Bath stone. They have this certain type of stone. Also, fun fact, uh, one time I went on a tour in Bath, and they told me that because every house looks the same, it's the same style, but a lot of the houses in Bath are new. That's because there's some policy or rule in that county that for every house that you build, you have to use the original Bath stone that's there. Well, you have to mine it and also build the houses in the same kind of style as they did 200 years ago, which is really cool. Which is also one of the reasons why Bath is such a popular city to film period pieces in, because everything looks like it was from 200 years ago. So either way, here you see the house is in the beige brick. I couldn't really find a good stone, and I have such a nightmare placing these chimneys. Either way, it does not end up being in this color. I end up using a regular red brick because that wallpaper I think is from like the athletic stuff pack. I can't remember the name of it, but it didn't really look old enough. It looked too modern, so I ended up getting rid of it. This is where I'm soon going to spend an eternity of doing the garden. The house itself took about 2.5 hours to build, everything from exterior to interior and the garden. But at the time when I was sitting here at the computer, it felt like I was spending a lifetime on it. And I've realized that doing these kind of planned garden for these kind of estate builds, I'm not really good at it, and it was actually a nightmare. But it did turn out pretty good, I have to say. So yeah, this is what I just tried to. I want like a really like a big gate, but that gate looked it looked ridiculously small. So I ended up not using it at all. I don't think I use the fence either. No, I end up making my own kind of gate. You're going to see it here where I try to find another fence. I'm just trying to piece out how I could work this together. I think it's because I chose the biggest lot in the Windenburg, the 64 by 64. Here you see I used that fence instead, which actually works really good as some kind of makeshift gate. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that. Yeah, but since I used the biggest lot, and I just there's a reason why I rarely build on big lots either, because I seriously I don't know how to fill the place. There's too much open space. I don't know what to do with it. Um, and especially since I wanted the house not to fill the entire thing up. The house itself didn't really need to be that big, because I wanted it was all about the garden. I think I've read somewhere that when it comes to back in the 1800s, that the houses, the estates, usually the houses were not that very well. The outside was very grand, but the most important was the garden, because the garden is what visitors see first when they come. So it needs to look very spectacular. Um, when I did this garden, I had no idea what I was doing. I just tried to see what looks good, what does not look good. I did cut out a bit. Yeah, you see, as well with the flooring. When I started in the interior, because I just took too much time on it, trying to figure out what works and what does not work. And then I realized that those lush bushes with the white flowers, they work really nice, because the regular flower patterns in the flower section in the game, they just look too choppy. They don't really blend in a good way. But those white flower patches really work out great. Um, yeah, so just detailing. I love the fountain. Oh, it's beautiful. And I took a really good, I think it's in the thumbnail. Yeah, I used the picture I took from the fountain looking up to the house. It's in the thumbnail. So I just love it. But yeah, I like the house. The house itself in the interior, which you also going to see. Oh, I don't have to spoil it for you. Why am I telling everything at once? This house also has a maze. There's two mazes. Um, I just thought like it could be fun, and also a maze is a very good way to use up the space. But I wanted to have them the same, but then I realized I had no idea what I was doing on the first maze, so I'll just work something out on the second one, and it works out fine. If you don't look too closely on the pattern, it works fine, absolutely fine. Oh yeah, so there's loads of flower bushes everywhere. So, oh, can you imagine? Do you remember? Was it in Sims 3? I think it was Sims 2, where you had to water your plants in the garden as well. Can you imagine if you had a gardener to come and do all of this maintenance? That would be nightmare. Oh God. But I remember, I think it was in Sims 1, definitely, where you had to water every single plant. Oh, and you had to water the plants inside as well. I remember that. I actually do. Okay, so this is the back of it. I didn't really know what to do. But then I remembered that because I kept having Pride and Prejudice and Jane Austen me in my mind when I did this, and then I remembered in those movies they always say like, "Oh, let's take a stroll around the garden. Let's do that. Let's walk around the garden." So that's why I decided to add loads of little flower or garden sections with loads of pathways. How do you say, sneaking around? What you also can do is that you can use those open garden patches I left there. I do fill them with flowers, but you can also remove them, and if you want like vegetables and grow harvestable. So yeah, that works really fine. Just filling out. I think it's gravel I use because, and then it looks weird having gravel in the maze, but at the same time, it should be able to for your Sims to walk in there, because I did make sure to leave that there's a but there's only one way in. You can't get out unless you delete a part of the hedge. So yeah. No, but I have to say I'm really pleased with the garden. It did work out fine in the end. It really did. So yeah, big trees. I'm just I don't know. I just enjoy seeing my own speed builds. See how everything just goes so fast. It's like, oh, yeah, I did this in 20 minutes. I don't really know what I'm talking about. I'm just rambling rubbish things. So yeah, the house itself in the interior, it's very simple. I did actually, well, I did try to make it according to the 1800s. I didn't do it completely to the early 1800s because first I only wanted to use candles as lighting. But when I looked in the lighting category, I realized there wasn't many options when it comes to candles. So I would say it's rather set in the later 1800s, at least when there's electricity. Yeah, but the only thing I kept thinking of is I wanted it to be grand. It had to be grand in a way. There had to be the entrance when you entered the house. It had to be grand. There was supposed to be a big staircase and marble floor and beautiful wallpaper and the most expensive wood floor there is. And there's columns and it looks really, really, really nice. It looks really nice, but it's very, in a way, well, it is very, how do you say, sparsely furnished? Sparsely? I don't know how to pronounce that. Um, but I kept thinking, you didn't really have much furniture then. You had certain rooms, and I knew you had the entrance, and the entrance was usually very empty. It was like a flower pot or maybe a chair, that kind of thing. Oh yeah, I don't keep that floor. I do make this same type of marble floor, but I use the bigger tiles, and by manually I make those the same kind of pattern. It's just that the squares are bigger because I felt like that pre-made more marble black and white tiles. They look really nice. It's just that they are quite a sore to the eye to look at. But so I did this instead. I do cut out quite a lot of it because I do this to 3 rooms. This kind of floor. So yeah, I just realized like, oh, this is going to take forever. So I just stop recording, and then I start recording once I'm finished. So you see the beautiful how do you say, result, and it works really, really, really nice. It does. So you're going to see it in the pictures later. It looks really amazing. I just had a tendency. I just wanted to modernize this place. I wanted to make it modern, but I also but this time I wanted to keep the old-fashioned, the original kind of style to it. Um, so if you ever want to play a period piece drama, here you go. Here's a house for you. Yeah, I don't really know what to talk about. Right now I'm debating whether I should just cut my voice here and leave you with some beautiful music instead for the rest of the video. There's like another 10 minutes or 8 minutes of me rambling. I don't really know if I can keep up. I don't really have anything to say right now. I'm quite tired. I was up until 2 a.m. Actually, well, yeah. But in Europe, we have to change the clocks this weekend to summertime. So we put all the clocks forward an hour. So it was actually 3 a.m. when I went to bed, and then I woke up at 8. So it doesn't matter what time it was. I only got like 4 or 5 hours of sleep. I'm quite tired. I did have the energy to do this build, but I don't. I feel like right now I can feel my energy is going down because I'm getting quite tired. It's yeah, it's like getting late in the afternoon here. Either way, back to the build. This is a massive dining room. Um, it's. I mean, I would say like most of the rooms, they look about the same. The bedrooms upstairs are going to be about the same. There's 2 rooms are the same and 2 rooms are the same. I didn't really change the style that much because I just kept it simple, really. This is the kitchen. This actually I know because I remember I built before an old-fashioned house, like well, old-fashioned, a house from the 18. No, I think it was early 1900s. And I remember I looked at pictures what kitchen looks like back then, and it did look quite similar to this. So that I knew that one at least. Yeah, so the kitchen is very simple, but I'm just thinking that the family who lives there, obviously they're rich, so they're never in the kitchen. And I did not put the kitchen by the front of the house. You could see in the windows because I mean, no, that's the representative side. So that's why I put it by the back of it, and I covered the windows with curtains. This is the reception room. As I remember, all these kind of houses always had a reception room, but it was separate from the entrance. Because the entrance is where the butler or any other people who works there, that's where they are, and they open the door, and that's where the grand staircase is. But then the reception room is where the host or hostess receive their guests, and they have their cup of tea. So yeah, that's why I knew they had, and also those palm trees. Well, not palm trees, but those like palm look-alike flower pots, the big ones. Excuse me. I do put them a bit around the build. That's because I've read an historic article. Not as the article itself wasn't historic, but it was about like around the in the 1900s. I don't say century because it just confuses me. Around the 1800s, because it was very common back then that you started to bring lots of exotic plants, and I think that was also late 1800s where you had the World Fair, and there was this big exotic plants and wildlife animals exhibition. So that's what I remember. That's why I put those a bit around the place. And also, I have seen Downton Abbey, which is quite accurate in a way to the historic part. Anyway, also I watched a documentary also about the well, Downton Abbey, they use that manor which they used to record. Well, I don't know. Well, yeah. If you do know, let me know. The guy, I think it's like Princess Diana's brother. It's her family. What I'm going to say is that he showed pictures of how it looked like 100 years ago or 150 years ago. Not 150, but somewhere around there, and they had lots of exotic plants in their reception or library area. And he did tell that it was quite common that you would start to bring that kind of plants back to UK. Really interesting. I'm a big historic fan. I love to read about history. It's so fascinating. So this is the first 2 bedrooms. There are toilets in this build. But I was thinking the early 1800s, and of course there wouldn't be toilets. There probably would be a room where you could wash yourself with a tub. But I mean, this is The Sims. If they don't have a toilet, they're going to pee themselves. So there's got to be. But I just kept them very, very simple. There's a toilet, a sink, mirror, and a tub. And there's 2 identical ones. So those first 2 rooms, I mean, they're identical a bit in what I use. And then I tried to just find a different bed. So they have about the same things in them, the bedrooms. I didn't really put that much stuff in it. But from what I remember, you didn't really have lots of clutter in the bedrooms back then, because it was a very simple use in a way. Well, at least in this It was quite simple. So I think I'm just adding a few outdoor things because I can see on the timeline that we are heading into the pictures. And yep, there we go. It's like, it looks very grand, that entrance. I really, really, really like it. Really, 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 really like it. So yeah, this is trying to get a few angles. Oh, I could easily have made this a 3-story home. I could. That would make it look even more grand. But at the same time, I hate decorating big builds. Oh, it takes up so much time. I don't really know what to put in most of it. So yeah, just a few different angles. I think I did, because I was first debating whether I should divide this video up in 2 parts because I didn't know how long it would be. But it's fine. It's only 20 minutes about. So that's why there's a few pictures I took before, and then there's a few. But after first I just did the exterior, and then there's a few pictures I took after I did the interior. So there might be duplicates of some angles, but it's fine. But you can just enjoy this even more. You see, it looks grand. It does. It looks. I really really like it. It's smaller. Yeah, I added a fireplace afterwards and a mailbox because I realized I put chimneys, but I didn't add any fireplaces. So, in the pictures you're going to see where the fireplace are. The kitchen, I like it. It's very simple. I think this is like the door to the back, and didn't really add much to it. This is the entertainment room, and this is the reception room. And this is like a gaming room or the men's den. You see the fireplaces around there. The upstairs, and there's a fireplace in each bedroom because it's going to get chilly at night. So yeah, I just took a picture of one bathroom because they look exactly identical. So this is other kinds of the red bedroom and the white bedroom. So yeah. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe if you enjoy it and if you enjoy me. And I'll see you next time. Oh, there's a link to download in the description below. So bye.